Alright. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's the ticket. Come on, y'all. Let's take a ride. Don't you say nothing. Just get inside the taxi cab. It's time to take your couch, hug and tail on another kind of trip. Cause you can't have the hop if you don't have the hip. Close your eyes and hit the switch. We're going to a place where everybody kick it, kick it, kick it, kick it. Yeah, that's the ticket. Going to the Philippines. In the airport, here we come. In the airport, here we come. Foreigners everywhere. One old man is living there. Oh, put something in the tank, and I know that I can bring you. If you can't take the heat, get your tail out the kitchen. We on a mission. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Slide, slide, slippity slide. I'm hitting switches on the block in the 85. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Ain't no valley low enough or mountain high. I'm trying to find a place where I can live my life. And I'm leaving my place where we eat some steak with my beans and rice. Going to a place where kids can play outside. Beautiful women everywhere. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Slide, slide, slippity slide. I'm hitting switches on the block in the 85. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. You better make a left off the plane.
Good afternoon. Oh, why isn't it?
It's because of there's a little here. Bring it down.
No, that's not
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you have to adjust it.
No, that's weird. No, it's not supposed to do that.
Check all that. It was messed up the last time. What's going on?
Okay. Oh, I see. The settings are. No. The settings are different.
Yeah, see.
I understand, babe. I didn't operate this the last time. The settings are different.
Oh,
I mean, I didn't know the settings are not the same. Sorry, guys. How you guys doing today?
hi,
Good afternoon to all,
Magadan.
or good evening, depending on. Oh, well, actually, no. It's good morning to some of you.
All right, we thought we would cover this story sooner than later, and it's not everyday opportunity that I catch George in the house up in the afternoon or not playing with the cats or with his other toys. So we figured instead of doing the live tomorrow that we would cover that there are 6 lost missing expats that are in the Valencia area that looks like they went out for a hike, and I know you have some words on there and you've warned people before. I'll go ahead and tell you what's going on. They have found 2 of them at this time. So I was just trying to hug on you there for a minute. 6 foreign nationals went missing after hiking in the Valencia Negros Oriental this week, which at this point, me and George were sitting here talking about it. It was at 8 a.m. on March 19th. So they were gone for like 2 days. And as of today, they did find 2 of them. Dun, dun, dun. And we're going to tell you, I'm going to give you my nitty gritty thought of where them guys, what happened to the rest of them.
We're gonna tell you where they found their bodies.
Yeah, Shaggy. Okay. Anyways, we'll tell you what really is going on or what we think's going on. We're going to give you the real Daily Mail smackdown on this. Hey, maybe they're cleaning their schmegma off and out there with some leaves or something.
Now, for some of you are wondering
With
what
leaves.
schmegma is, let me go into the technical.
No, that was nasty. I don't even know how that would happen. How and why would the Daily Mail mention that he was a married man on top of that? That was disgusting. That's even more disgusting to think about a partner knew about that. Or, anyways, we'll get onto that some other day. But the local government said Friday, as it had sought help from the public. Now, we posted something earlier. We know Sunshine posted something, and a bunch of the expat groups had posted something. So everybody was on the lookout. And I guess the truth being is if none of us were getting up off of our ass and going out there in the weeds to find him with the rain and everything, it ain't going to be me. I'm just like, here, hey, George, I'm going to put this post up and let people know that these dudes are missing, you know. I was like, George, you can go down there, get you a plane ticket, go on a fantastic voyage, and go look for them your ass self. And George said, I'm busy. Do it, George. I'm busy. Okay, so, and I'm going to try to pronounce these guys, and too damn bad one of them isn't Conan White.
Whoa. Hey, now.
If you guys are out there and you find Elliot Eastman, let me know. I'd like to wrap this story up and write another song about it. They were identified as Alexander Rodvani, British, Torsten Martin Gorchup, German. Okay. By the way, I'll just list them here. Alwyn Fink, German, a certain Wolfgang. I guess they're just calling him Wolf.
Right. Some guy named Wolfgang, whatever.
Yeah, that's how
We're
they
not
put
sure.
it. We're not sure, but the Philippine government,
The CERN Wolfgang. Yeah.
the government named him as Wolfgang, which, hey, you got to give it to him. German, and a certain Terry, Canadian. So it looks like they don't even know who these other guys are. They got that, you know, what do they call that? Elbows up, guys. How about we give two elbows up for the Terry Canadian missing that's out there? If you find our tariffs out there somewhere in the woods, can you bring them back to us?
Raise your elbows, eh?
Hey, watch what you're doing with that elbow.
All right.
And Anton Chernov, a Ruski. Are we allowed to call him Ruski? Or is that
Russo.
Oh, Russo. I thought they call them
Russo.
Ruskies too. Did they get home already? Well, we weren't going to cover it till tomorrow, and literally within the last 2 hours, they're announcing they found him. That's the photo that we showed. Now, here's the thing. Thank you for the thumbnail, dude, whoever you are, because the shirt said weak. The weak or something on the front of it. Weak?
Weak man.
Weak man. Literally the word weak man. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? But two of them showed up. Go figure. Two of them, and both of them were German. I don't know whether to stand up, being I'm part German, and say, way to go, mates, or say, what's really going on? Why did two Germans arrive together? What happened to the rest of them? Did they already have a barbecue out there? Did others decide to go shopping? Are they out there like taking a nap somewhere? Is this some sort of revenge plot? I mean, we're going to try to give you the real nitty-gritty breakdown of what's going on. Maybe one's out there getting like a perm. Maybe the perms from the 80s came back, an Olga V perm.
The shirt says, weak men cause problems.
Either way, the two Germans came back, and that's just not looking good. They went hiking on a famous Twin Lakes trail in the province, and you said they call it what?
Well, which is Malabo. Which is really sad, because this is a popular trail, and that's why I say it's sad. But anyway, go on.
And failed to return to their rental house. Other house guests had reported them missing, aka probably their ladies. Is like, who's going to pay for lunch? I don't know who's going to pay for lunch. Who's going to pay for the drinks tonight? I planned to go disco, and they ain't got nobody to pay their bills. So, aka their girlfriends are complaining, just trying to fill you all in. What is the real truth? They weren't going to say that, but Heidi's going to tell you. It was probably their girlfriends, right? George is going to plead the fifth here because he's Filipino. He's paying for it. George is paying for your drinks, ladies. The other house guest said, so the police, I guess they started looking for him. It's like, let's go look for him. These girls can't afford to pay their bills forever. The families of the missing people are seeking assistance from the appropriate authorities. What the hell does that even mean? From the appropriate authorities. Don't you love how they spin words on these articles? The appropriate. You know what I thought? I thought I would go on down to a coffee shop and ask one of those people that make coffee to go out and look for somebody. Because you wasn't getting Heidi, a non-hiker, overweight, middle-aged woman out there to look for somebody. So we can't ask Heidi. So you ain't asking about the appropriate people. The appropriate authorities. I'm an authority in hiking. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos. So what are they really discussing?
Technically, I believe it. I honestly think this is under the army. I believe here in the Philippines.
Huh. They hope to locate them and return to safety. The local risk reduction and management offices of Valencia and Cibulan were searching for the missing individuals with the help of several organizations. They did put a thing out. They wanted help, but they wanted the real deal out there. Basically, none of the weak. Looks like the weak did return, though, didn't he? We highly appreciate those who are trained to be part of the search, not YouTube trained. Okay, now, hey, I Googled how to be trained. I'm coming. Just joking, guys. The wilderness first responder said in a statement, the search will resume Friday. The search will resume on Friday after it was suspended the previous night, which they did, and they came back with 2 guys. Now, I want to let you know, weirdly, they only took a photo of the one guy. We only got the photo of the one guy, and he was doing like a thumbs up or something, and he was doing which again, that's what's on the thumbnail and everything. So Brokeback Mountain, that's what I'm talking about. They left their ladies, and so that's where we're at. Is they found 2 of the 6. And what was it? We also just seen a news article. And what were they saying in the news there, George? No, it's your thing.
What?
What
news article?
The ABS-CBC-CEEN. You know, the one with that fluffy lady likes to spread gossip, ABCSN or whatever. You know, the one that did the thing on Elliot Eastman. That network just came out with a news thing. And they said what they had said is they had found the guy and the girl was going on, and they said something along the lines of that they didn't have a guide. And George is like, I told you they didn't have a guide. And supposedly that is a known area for hiking, but it's a go through to another part of the area. Probably used by Filipinos to go from one area to another. But anyways.
It's common whenever you go places. And I've said this several times.
I'm not having this, guys.
I've gone out on hikings by myself, which you should never do. And
this is not kiddie time.
What I'm getting at is I've always repeated, never go out hiking alone. You should never go out hiking without a guide. I mean, I get it. I do it myself. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't classify myself as an experienced hiker. I classify myself like a beginner hiker plus. I'm a little above a beginner hiker, but even I know what not to do.
I went hiking when I was 12 years old. I went to summer camp for several years in a row. And I'm going to tell you, the only hike I had was up and down the stairs when they were in the house.
Now, what does this have to do with you guys? What does this have to do with expats? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of the places you go to that's interesting in the Philippines, you have to hike. If you want to look at waterfalls, well, waterfalls, by default, you guys have to hike for the most part, by default. Unless they actually built an actual concrete area, which some of them they have, of course, to that leads to that waterfall. But for the most part, if you want to go to like this one, it says Twin Lakes. If you want to watering holes, lakes, ponds, that kind of stuff, caves. It's another word for pond or lake. So
I thought a watering hole is how you water. Yeah, I heard that for the bars or taking your horse down there, like Little House on the Prairie.
Here in the Philippines, well, anywhere in the world, again, interesting places you need to hike. And again, I keep repeating this on this channel: never hike alone, never hike without a guide, never hike at dark.
He said that.
I did say
a couple
these
dozen
guys
times.
got lost.
That's what he said, but I'm not believing that. I'm holding out that I got three more live streams talking about this stuff. Hey, they found another guy. His T-shirt said "lost."
Yeah. Well, also another thing is, I'm sure these guys probably said to themselves, "You know what? I have a signal on my phone. We're good. We don't need a guide." Then the moment you go deep into the forest, you don't realize you're lost. By the time you're lost, That's when you realize your phone doesn't work anymore and it's useless.
Here's the thing. You can't convince me that there were 6 of them. And I've been on hikes and there were like 30 of us girls and none of us cut more than X amount of feet. Some can get ahead over a ridge, but what they do, jump off the beaten path to go whack off or something? And they got lost. They had to like rub one out or something. They got lost up against a tree.
That's the thing.
How'd they get lost?
Babe, it's easy. I keep repeating that. It's not like, that's why whenever I watch a movie, I was just telling Heidi this. I don't get where in movies at night they run into the woods and then they just run back out. I'm like, that's not how it works. The moment you go into woods.
But it wasn't dark.
I know that, but in daytime, if I grabbed you, put you not even in the middle of the woods,
they were together.
Blindfold you, spin you around, take off your blindfold, you could never find your way back.
I would sit down where
in
my
fact,
ass was.
a lot of people die in the woods and they're literally a mile away from home. Literally.
But there were 6 of them. You think at one point
it makes it worse. It makes it worse. It's easy if there's 2 of you or if there's 1 of you. You know why? There's not a lot of conflict. But if the more guys you have, the more, oh, I'm better than you. I know. This is where the way is.
Exactly. So there might have been some sort of confrontation, and maybe at some point they went off in different directions to find their way out.
Group. You have 2 guys on their own, and you have 4. Or, like I did say, it's very possible that what happened was in the middle of the night, the 2 guys that got found were really, really hungry. I'm just saying.
Barbecue. Or maybe a big snake got him. Maybe a snake got him. Keep your snake together.
Maybe
right?
each other's snakes got them. Anyway.
Okay, but here's the thing. Just like in Scooby-Doo and other scary movies and all that, you don't split your ass up. That's the first rule of anything is you guys don't split up like that. It could not have been that bad.
Well, actually, there's 2 rules. If you get lost and you're on a trail, you stay put.
These cats are not going to make it to 6 months old. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Because in all probability, you're nearby the trail.
Like a little chipmunk.
Like I said, most people who die in the woods are literally within a mile or within yards from the trail. They were lost from the first place.
Well, we at least know there's another live stream coming out of this because this dude's going to talk. And wherever these other guys are, just like George said, I'm going to tell you my thoughts are is, and these guys weren't spring chickens either. I don't have the, oh, that was close. Whew, slow down, Heidi. I almost knocked my drink over here, my tea. I was trying to spill the tea, literally. But they weren't spring chickens, weren't they? All over. One was 63, one was 50, one was 39. But
I was still right because I did say before, between me and Heidi, I said, none of these guys are experienced hikers. Which again, I get it in the article that they never said that, but the fact that they're going through a common trail, not an off the beaten path trail, not a trail that nobody uses. No, this is a regular trail. You know what I'm saying? This is a tourist trail. So if they got lost on a tourist trail, these guys are amateurs when it comes to hiking. So
I don't know, guys. Gotta let us know.
I mean, I'm not talking down on them. I'm just saying, again, people underestimate the value of wilderness skills and tracking and everything. I can't track worth crap. I'm going to tell you that right now. I can do hiking, but I can't track. So
now what's going on? It says the London Heathrow Airport's being closed for 24 hours. So just in case you guys don't know.
City Flickers, right, Tarzan. How appropriate name for this live right now. Yeah, City Slickers. Yeah, correct. And again, people who don't do okay, if you're a hunter, then you know what I'm talking about. If you guys run around, hunt boar and deer, you guys know that it's easy to get lost easy because everything looks the same. And then again, like the human thing is when you walk straight, you tend to still walk in a circle. A lot of people aren't aware of that.
Oh, hell, you're right, Ronald. Here, put Ronald up. He said that British expat you had 2 days ago will say he was one of them, and he'll start a GoFundMe. I swear he probably will.
Dang,
Snap. And just on a side note,
because
we don't plan to do another video on him, He actually upped the amount and plans to up the amount. He now added a few hundred more on there. So he's adding more money to the GoFundMe. It was supposed to stop at 3,000 British pounds, but he's adding money to it after our live stream. And he said he also
He's
said that,
increasing the goal.
yeah, he said that we said a bunch of lies and
No,
nothing,
no lies.
that he's going to explain each thing. Yeah, you got time to think about those lies. This is what you
Correct.
got to do. You already said that all the stuff you were going to say. So he can just have it. People already reported him. I've reported him. I'm in touch with people. And this is the second person that I felt needed to be reported. And he can sit out there and wait, because now he's making excuses that that he'll buy the ticket when he's ready. He's put a whole new thing up. He's like going on how he's upset and all this other stuff. And people keep asking him, dude, when are you going to leave? You've got the money for a ticket. And I did find out that he's saying there's a bunch of paperwork. No, he's got to get his own passport. He even let his passport expire. I found out that minimally it costs 100 British pounds to even get that letter. I bet he doesn't want to spend it. He probably doesn't want to spend that money either. And he has to either get the letter or get his passport, which would cost him. But it can be done online. So I don't get where his delay's been, because it's already been, what, 2 weeks since that story, or 10 or 11 days? Why hasn't, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But he cashed out and doubled down. So, but yes, he'll probably add on to that for sure.
Now, what's interesting is Ronald says, I'll give it to his ex before I would him. Glenn agrees. Now, what's interesting is, for some of you who watched our live with him and his ex, is if you paid attention, she actually said, I'm paraphrasing here, but she did say that she's just now about to be clear of her debts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, interesting. So she's still trying to, recover.
Yeah, that's for sure. Again, it says that Heathrow Airport may not be open for a few days, so I don't know how that affects people. It said that an electrical substation had exploded, and it could be seen 2 miles away. So they're saying the airport is down. So it could. So I just mentioned that on the side. Literally just happened. I was in there looking for more on this story. So
Right. Also, another thing is, because somebody did say something here in the comments. Let me go back real quick. Now, Tarzan says take a compass, and then he says, I use a compass even in the city, so I know what way the beach is when I get to the first time I got to getting. Now, also another thing, when you go to a hike, even if it's a popular hike or anything, always bring a backpack with you and bring basic necessities. And what are basic necessities? 1, compass. 2, a battery charger, because sometimes you get a signal somewhere in the forest where there's this sweet spot, where you get a signal and your phone's dying. This has happened a lot to a lot of hikers. Water, always bring water. You know what I'm saying? Basic, very basic. I'm not even asking you pack a tent. No, I'm telling you, bring water. You know what I'm saying? Always pack water. A little bit of beef jerky if you could. That kind of deal. Just enough to last you a couple hours, kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Because this does happen. And like Tarzan says, bring a compass. And no, don't bring a virtual compass that you download off your phone, because your phone is never guaranteed to work. You know what I'm saying? And remember, your phone relies on towers, and there could be interference on the mountain where your phone's compass, may not even work at all. Phone GPS is not true GPS. It relies on towers, guys. Not the same thing. Same thing with your compass. It's not the same thing. So always bring a real compass with you. Yeah, basic survival stuff and first aid kit, correct. Yeah, water and granola bars, correct.
yeah, I've just found out some other information, not on
Oh,
this
hey,
one, but
Jack,
another.
how you doing, Jack? Oh, yeah, life straw. There you go. Bring a life straw. Life straw is that Water purifier is easy to carry, right? Of course, you guys can bring a water purifier or a life straw. Life straw is that straw that you can just suck off anything, and it'll. That didn't sound right, but I guess it'll work. It'll purify it.
I guess.
It'll purify. You can drink off the river water, and
The cats are off the chain.
Yeah, if you use life straw and drink river water or any source of water, it'll purify it. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, Slim Jims, correct. Bring Slim Jims, correct. Jose says
Right. It says here that you could be dead and your cat's still begging you for food.
yeah. Philippine remote provinces are infested with expat vloggers. Good for the local bandits to know their identities, whereabouts, and where they live.
I doubt these were vloggers. These just seem to be expats. So,
yeah, no, these don't look like vloggers to us.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, water purifier is no. I agree. Again, it's like there's several versions of them now. Or even just bring like what other guy said the other day, like a camel backpack. That water backpack. Something. Got to bring something. Yeah.
Yeah, their ages were 67. German Wolfgang, named as Wolfgang.
Yeah.
And Anton was the Russian, Mr. Fink, German, 60. And let's see, I'm trying to get the British guy was 63. But just want to give it to me. Terry, the Canadian, is 50. It's funny they don't know his name. And then this guy, they just had a business photo. That was the funny part.
Yeah, they got it from LinkedIn or something.
Yeah, it looks
like
he
got a
I mean, do they not?
LinkedIn photo.
So, I mean, I guess they had their ID and passports on them.
Which makes it worse, which means he probably doesn't really go on hikes.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
That
was the funny part.
Also, another interesting thing and factual thing is a lot of people. Remember how I say in the Philippines, never rely on distances because that's not how it works. Now when it comes to hiking, like Rob says, I've been gold panning in Puyo River. Only 2 kilometer hike brought me to my physical limit. When you go hiking, the equivalent
I have an update.
It's basically the best way to describe it, I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe is 4:1, meaning for every 1 kilometer that you walk on straight ground, aka right now, if I just walk down the road 1 kilometer, if I go hiking, it's equivalent of 4 kilometers. So yeah, so if Rob Morrison only hiked 2 kilometers, it's the equivalent of 8 kilometers. Again, it's not. Don't look at distance. Oh, it's nearby. No, that's not how it works.
Okay, so here is an update that's recent. Also, it said the Cebulan team in Malabo, a renowned search and rescue unit, has successfully located 2 of the 6. I guess it's success. You call it success. I say you didn't get the whole team, but hey, thank you. If this was a video game, you'd have lost, dudes.
Right.
So
that's right. You get 3 misses. That's
hey, listen. If we can't make you laugh, then you guys are going to be crying and staying up all night worried about these poor precious.
Where's the other
expats.
4?
Listen.
Get back out there, you.
Listen.
Losers.
That is somebody's kids out there lost.
No. Seriously, yeah.
Oh no, I'm.
Oh wait, what?
Dun,
What?
dun,
Wait, what?
Dun, 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 dun. Say hello to Elliot while you're out there, please.
Oh dang!
You didn't. Hey, it's been a little bit. So hey.
6 feet under.
Oh jeez. All right. So here it says, it says they went missing while trekking. What does that even mean?
Hiking.
Trekking.
They're just hiking. They're just trying to be diverse in
even if they're
their
old dudes.
vocabulary.
Even right. Okay, they go say AI or Chat GPT. Do you mind if you please write me an article based on
Shoot, they probably just copy and pasted another article and just says ChatGPT
Well,
reward
yes,
this.
a lot. We know that that's what's going on. The hikers who had reportedly they did split up. Says right here, the guy said they split up.
They
That's
split
what
up.
happened.
And you never split up.
And told you guys, man, just like a scary movie, don't do
And
it.
you stay put. First rule.
They were found in the rugged mountainous region near Mananalasayo Twin Lakes, the area known for its challenging terrain. And why? You guys know you were out drinking all night and pushing your back and putting your back into it.
Okay,
and loving.
All right, I'm
squeezing
right.
and moving
Now,
together.
again, let's be real here. Again, I'm 50, so I'm old in the hiking world. I'm old.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a likely.
And I've
thing
always
for-
been extra. What do you
Hey,
call that?
Sarah, what are you doing
Yeah,
up?
I've always been, hiking and mountain biking, that kind of stuff. And at 50, I'm out of shape.
Ah.
So what I'm saying is, don't forget that too.
Yeah, this is crap that these guys would not be doing in their own retirement back in the U.S. either. I mean, what would possess these guys to go out without somebody? And I just don't know what would possess these guys to do this.
No, there's no. No, it's just a tourist
Especially
thing.
without a mountain bike.
It's just a tourist thing. But they thought they didn't need a guide.
I would have been.
And again, I'm pretty sure the reason why they thought they didn't need a guide, because, okay, this is my take. I think they didn't hire a guide because they looked at their phones and again
figured they could do it.
But
you're right, it's colder on this side. I'm switched sides with George and I'm closest to the AC. Okay, so it says here, it says that the hikers who had reportedly split up were found in the rugged area. Okay, it says the area was known for its challenging terrain. Okay, despite the challenges, the Malabo team located two of the missing hikers in this remote, hard-to-reach area. Why? And yeah, they're looking. Hey, look, he looks like he got a fanny pack on or something in the front. See there?
That's not a fanny pack.
What is it?
That's his junk.
It's not his junk. He's got a bag tied to the front of him. And look at him with his hand up. You can't see it. He's putting muscle up.
Hey, that's German junk. Don't diss the German junk.
Weak man.
Cost problem.
It looks like one of those bags that the.
What does it say?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about giving a hard time, it says. I can't see it direct. Something hard. Giving you a hard time. Weak man. Having a hard time. Something. I get that it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Now, Sarah Tyson says, what's the story, defectors? Sarah says,
right, trying to escape immigration.
Grandpa is lost. What kids? There you go.
Right.
Now, Tony says, did they take their walkers with them? And he also says that the hikers were found covered in baby oil.
Here we go. Let's get to the people. The comment. You better go sit down somewhere, Tony. I was going to tell you earlier. I didn't want to cut George off, although it's my favorite thing to do. I put good time into cutting him off. Listen,
the one who took off and escaped, other than Ellen DeGeneres, who else took off and escaped?
Oh, everybody that was on that list of what's his name on that island. Everybody was on that list. Anyways, listen to what this person said. Comments coming in. Idiots. Why should we put themselves in harm's way for stuff like this? The forecast for rain has been bad for almost a week. I hope they pay for the rescuers plus their time and the danger. Yeah, they should. It had already been raining. I mean, you just
no. I mean, did that cross my mind? Yes. However,
I have no patience.
You have to remember too. A lot of times people don't.
This guy sums it up.
They're just oblivious. I mean, what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure they didn't do this out of malice or anything like that, or they just probably thought.
I have no patience
nothing,
for
it's
idiots,
right there,
as my comment might imply, and I agree. I mean, yeah, it does make a difference. It all makes a difference
because this is time and money by the Philippine government.
Yeah, they
and the
should have
volunteers.
stayed.
It's Yeah, they're volunteering. It's some of them are risking
All
their
this
lives
stuff,
because they
yes.
are scaling cliffs. Yes, because if you go hiking, scaling cliffs is kind of normal. So, I mean,
Thank you, Weskers. Weskers. Gahit Bahu Bahai. You're all a hero. Ingat Kayo Palagi. God bless. Getting better. I've been watching.
I have no clue what Heidi says, but
It says.
always stay safe. God bless. But that's all I got from that
That's
one.
I'm gonna tell you right now. By Christmas,
Remember, a little bit of mispronunciation of a word changes the meaning entirely,
yeah, because I said
and
plato
a
and
bunch
Plato.
a bunch of words mispronounced. Just you're like, what? Huh?
Nap time. Ike.
Like apu. That's the difference.
Apui.
That's
We used to sell
the
a shampoo.
difference
of
between
Apui.
grandson and grandfather. Well, that's just a simple example. Apu.
I love with your.
You know,
Apo.
just a simple mispronunciation
Your
literally
granddad or
changes
your
the wording
grandson.
100%. So that's what I'm saying. So, anyway,
But it just. They said what I said. The shirt he is wearing says it all. Right?
right.
It did. I mean, come on. Why? Oh, why? Philippines is not just safe anymore. Not a good idea.
Well,
Perfect t-shirt.
any hike anywhere in the world, guys.
I have no idea. This was an odd statement. It was going nowhere. Thank you, Jose Haggard. Haggard. We lived there with my family for 7 years in Valencia. There are many foreigners living there, mostly are seniors with very young wives and beautiful
What? Go on.
houses. That's it. That was his entire statement.
Wait, what?
I can't make this up. Thank you for the comment of the week.
It's like one of those like, all right, we have astronauts stuck in space and Elon can't get them down.
Oh,
Me. Okay, sir, what do you have to add?
A
I watched
dozen
Apollo
eggs.
13. You
No,
know,
it'd be more
yeah,
like, well,
it's like what?
my shower curtain is made of
Right.
foil.
Right.
Oh, I gotta
What
love
the
it.
heck?
We give you all sides here. What the hell? Man. Oh, okay, so this person, Andre, wants to know, why did you split from the others? That's what I was saying, bitch. Why?
Because they had a disagreement. Some
Maybe it was like,
obviously they both had said, "No, I know better. This is the way. No, I know better. This is
okay,
the way."
that's what it says. Zehohan said, weak man creates a hard time. That's what the
Oh, there it
Momo shirt said.
All right.
Yeah, that's what the shirt said, guys. Weak man creates a hard time. I mean, what does that even mean? Is he talking about a zwang, or is he talking about he's weak and he creates his own hard time? I mean, did he really say it all?
Well, I hate to say this, but he is the one that got found, so therefore he is more correct than the others. Just saying.
He's probably just lucky. He was probably laying in a ditch crying like a bitch.
Could be true. We don't know. I hear crying. I think they're over there.
Ich heiße Fräulein Jingle Bell. Boss, help me. Help.
I forgot every German word that I used to know.
Oh, jeez.
So I couldn't even make anything up at this point.
Hey, here we go. He's looking for beer, I'm sure. Help. All right, so a lot of good jobs. Man, they really love that shirt. That's the first time me and George said, oh, snap, they should have got another shirt, Dumb and Dumber. See, don't you all say nothing about my ass when we create fun, poke fun, or whatever. You do your scripted content and do what you got to do wherever you's got to do, and I'm gonna do me. Cause this is a free job I'm doing here, so I'm just having some fun. Screw it, you guys be doing it, and I would expect it if it was me out there. Be like, what is dumb big ass Heidi doing out in the woods? I was out there picking berries for a pie.
Well, the two that were found are Dumb and Dumber. Then who are the other four?
Dingo, berry, cockleberry, cockle and berry. Einschwein, pumpkin. What was it? Give me go. Okay. All right. Einschwein. Okay. This one says na meo nang savaging man good nice sila kay lamana ila pana ako lagi Saudi wa man balunga 1 week Rocco wa mu Yuli wa man masul maga tawa ningon ramen da mulan. Am I getting anywhere? No translation on that one. Another guy missing in Saudi?
No, it's not Silvano.
Ah, that's a good one. Rob says they got into an argument and the German schnapped. So they said they needed Tarzan yell to get found, right? Hey, what's going on, Bruce? Yes, that is me summoning the demons. I'm working on my Tagalog. Yeah, that is me just working overtime. But at least they found 2 of the 6. Hey, maybe they can find half of Elliot.
Okay, well, according to this guy,
Yeah,
they're good because they didn't get X-nayed. I mean, I'm just trying to be nice here. And
That's where I thought,
although
because
I don't
people-
understand why this have anything to do with, yes, he did say I'm always in Saudi, and anyway, but
yeah, so that's about as crazy as the other thing. I knew.
no, but he did say that they're good because they didn't get X-nayed, and that's part of it. I mean, but anyway.
Hey, looks like Paul Old Dog New Tricks left a message on here.
Did he really?
He said, I'll keep the coffee on for you and the lights on. Thanks, Paul." And he said, "Weak man create hard times. It's on you, man. I'll come visit your ladies later." Thanks, Paul. Snap. Thanks, Paul. Nobody told these foreigners that ever happens to them. They lost their way out in the forest. They were supposed to reverse their shirt, underwear, and pants. What's that about?
Actually, thank you so much, David Cardona. Appreciate your support. Thanks
David.
so much. Appreciate you,
And
man.
hey, Bruce. Don't you start. Don't wake these kids up. The cat's summoning the. So what? Why would you turn your underwear?
Oh dang! Jack Wolfhanger says
Hey, Elvis.
they got lost on Overstay Road.
Isn't that crazy how she does that? The mother cat that we have with the 3 kittens, she does this crazy thing where she just screams like they just fell asleep and behaved themselves. And now she's calling them and she wants them to come running. Need to put their shirt on inside out to find their way home.
It's what do you call that? Pamanihan. It's basically if you're lost in the forest, you do this and you find your way back.
It's an old.
Yeah, it's really old.
Which, here's the thing. I believe in that stuff. Me and George have been talking about a lot of these things. And I don't like to get into too many, like, different things. I was talking about that book with you the other day, the one that they claim was missing in the afterlife and all these things. But I tell you what, I do believe more in science and those type of things and a bunch of different stuff. I'm kind of mixed on some of these things, but yeah, that would make sense. Maybe
you guys are hilarious. No. Ronald Higgins says they were Hollins. What do you think they were doing? Playing hide the slimy? And Tarzan says, "Yeah, it's a sausage party."
Sausage party.
Glenn says,
You know
"Survival
what? I'm
skills
gonna be
training
truthful with
test
you.
number 1." Fail.
Speaking of Sausage Party, have you seen that movie?
No, it's stupid.
You didn't? Did anybody see Sausage Party?
No. Don't get me wrong.
But what that was supposed to be semi. It was supposed to be.
It's one of those. I
It
get
was
it.
meant
It's
to
comedy and it's raunchy and everything. I'm just not into that.
So was it wrong for me to go see it with my son?
Yes, probably. Probably inappropriate.
Well,
Not wrong, but inappropriate.
well, we're both adults. He
No, I get
took
it.
me.
I
I
get
didn't
it.
know what it was about. That is true. I'm just being honest with
Well,
you.
no,
Yes.
it's fine. That means he
We were
knows
adults.
you're into that.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're
Yeah.
kind of out there. You guys can tell I'm out there. But after I didn't realize what it was about, I didn't know it was raunchy.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there like, that'd be like us both flipping through a Playboy at the same time or something, and then it would just get even weirder.
Well,
Then I would just feel like regular guy on a
it's
Saturday
like this.
night.
Let's say if it wasn't a cartoon. Let's say.
Did you miss that?
What's that?
I said then it would be like regular guy on a Saturday night.
Oh, that's normal.
And the George Michael song Hand to Mouth playing.
That's normal too. What I'm saying is, let's say Sausage Party wasn't a cartoon. Let's say it was played by Will Ferrell. Then I would have watched it because it's kind of.
Yeah, he has some.
What I'm saying, raunchy cartoons are just kind of weird. You know, that's all.
What's
nothing
the
personal.
official Blue Falcon theory?
What is that?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I'm not into those many theories.
Wait. That sounds familiar. Anyway, Tarzan says Lost and Lobster.
Lost.
Berlin Everett says checking from Lipata. Rob Morrison says they got into an argument and the Germans snapped. I like that. Roland Holland says ramen noodle.
It said as of 17 hours they've been missing. So it's saying they've been missing for days. Here's other people asking for help. Here's where they drew the maps, trying to show people out looking for them. Yeah, there's supposed to be a bunch of rain. There's their photos again. There he is. Just looking to see if anything additional came in while we have you guys. There's where they're asking for help.
Tarzan says if they live, they will never live it.
Oh, look
down.
at this. Check it out. See these guys?
What's
Isn't that cool? It's another missing group of expats in February, but it was in the US. And it shows where they've got like that's heat sensitive. I guess they
Yeah,
were
it's
looking
thermal,
for
yeah.
look at them, but they sped it up. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's thermal.
It looks like a bunch of little ants moving down a path, and they were able to find them by that
Yeah.
Sugarland police had found them. It's listed under I don't know why.
Isn't that how they found him with a drone? I thought.
I don't know. They put everything out.
Star Tyson says were the two they found looking well fed. There you go. Oh damn! Time Muscal says the other four were recruited by the MILF.
Yeah.
Tarzan says Alzheimer's in the woods. Tony Manning says I saw it. It was funny than hell. Oh, Sausage Party.
Are these more missing guys? Where's this at? No, it says Mount Tolinas. Foreign hikers are missing in Mount Tolinas. 24 hours already missing. This was 5 hours ago.
That's probably the same thing.
I have climbed Mount Tolinas, also known as Cuerno de Negros, 7 times, but that's not that's not in any of the
different. That's different.
The latest unfortunate incident here involved foreigner who was found unalived. Huh, this is a total different story.
Yeah.
Interesting, guys. I can't make this up. It just actually come up. What's wrong? Let's see. Foreign hikers are currently missing within Mount Tolinas, Talinis range for over 24 hours. This was as of 5 hours ago. The latest unfortunate incident.
Oh, Okay. Okay.
Salinas, it's always foggy, unpredictable, and it
No.
rains a lot.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We did talk about that. Not on camera, but we did talk about it.
Ah, I gotcha.
Actually, you're the one who came up with it. Why the other two were found and the other four are missing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, you're the first one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But we didn't mention anything during the live. But anyway,
Huh, this is interesting. I don't know.
and somebody else.
Somebody else got it.
Is missing. But doesn't change the facts again. Going hiking in mountains is no joke.
Yeah. People are just repeating the story. A lot of people forwarded it.
Do I do it? Yes. Do I do it alone? Yes. But you're not me.
Snap, under the same story, there's a woman, her husband was a rescuer over and over again. He ended up getting terminal cancer. They're doing a GoFundMe for him. That's sad. Somebody who has saved life after life after life, but...
And I've almost died several times hiking, like literally, one grip away from falling and dying.
I did when I went to summer camp, but at the end of the hikes, we usually
several occasions
camped out and had marshmallows, and or we got back and went swimming, and I got my what's the drink they used to drink all the time? We used to get the red cream soda and a bunch of junk food and junk out, and then go back and stay up all night.
I thought it was John Jones soda.
No. I'm not saying anything. It just keeps showing the guy in that he'll never live down that photo. He's like, man, what you doing wearing that?
Jean Paul, are there hot springs here? Yes, there are. They're not as common, that I'm aware of, but there are some within probably 3 kilometers from. There's one in Spaghetti. I'm not quite sure where it is. I'm sure Paul knows where it is. But no, hot springs exist. Hot springs do exist. Glenn says MILFs aren't done with the remaining 4 lost.
Check it out. These people, it's funny. That's why I keep looking, because Facebook is so full of information. And Filipinos will talk to Filipinos, and then they'll post all their information. It's crazy. They're all sitting there sending messages, literal, like, check it out. People based on the information. Well, I'm not close enough to that area. Can you ask so-and-so about this? And can you check into that stuff? That's just like that British expat. I'm like, dude, you put all that stuff out and you don't think people don't know where you are right now? And your ex-woman knows where you're at? Man, you must be crazy, man. Filipinos are gonna find you, man.
Rob Morrison, Lost in the Jungle would absolutely suck. Only Tarzan to save. That's another thing. I'd hate to say this too, and that's also another reason why, if you're lost on a hike, on a regular hike, what I'm saying, these guys are lost on a regular hike, which means it's a common way to get there. So if you're lost, odds are you're within. To be honest with you, again, most of the time, a lot of people die within yards from the actual trail, and they don't even know it. So what I'm saying is, if you're lost from a normal hike,
and
stay put.
It has to be longer than it's actually saying, because it says here, and this was posted, like I said earlier, 14 hours ago. They had already been missing for 32, and they just said that it was only what we guesstimated about 3 days. So 32 hours. Okay, so that could be.
Yeah.
They must have did, but yeah, it says as of they've been missing for 32 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. Expat Forever says the expat got lost at Twin Lakes, located in San Jose, just north of Cebu, and they are not in Valencia. Okay. A reward might get people looking for them. Good point. Good point. Ruby. Hey, Ruby. Good day. Heidi, George, and everyone in the room. Yeah, let me go back to the top. Let me say hi to everybody. Our Philippine Journey Mike is with us. Good afternoon, all. Tony Manning, good morning, everyone. Roland Hans. Good morning, everyone. 3 a.m. here in New Jersey, USA. And Mike says George got a haircut, and Glenn says get George, Heidi, and Mike. Thanks.
Yeah, we were just chilling here. You guys can see I'm
Robert
still
H
in
says
my
George has his
house
ears lowered.
clothes.
I haven't heard that in a while.
We were just gonna wait till tomorrow. I said, might as well do it now. I'm just like literally sitting here in my
Tony Manning says they were out chasing women. Ooh.
They left their women at home. That's who they're trying to figure out who's going to pay for that rental here shortly. Airbnb.
Now, this somewhat crossed my mind in a roundabout way. I mean, I get it. Our film journey says they are at a bar. You have to realize too that it did cross my mind. Were they really lost? Did they do something they're not supposed to? Then run back to the woods and then pretend that they're lost.
Oh, dun dun.
It did cross my mind. I mean, I get it. Our Philippine journey.
I was trying to do.
Yeah, our Philippine journey's like saying as a joke, they're at a bar, and it did cross my mind. Like
that would be actually, it's pretty genius. They could have when something comes up.
Like they did something they're not really supposed to, but they were as a group like, okay, this is what we're gonna do,
and then we'll just go back out there in a couple days.
Yeah,
and
then be found.
Yeah, because here on the Daily Mail, it shows here in June of last year, there was a guy that disappeared for 10 days, but same thing. It's a good idea. Thanks, guys. Thanks for giving me an idea.
Right.
Heidi doesn't need any more ideals. I've got enough room in here to put a bunch of ideals.
No, Ronald Hollins, that it's not what you think it is.
I don't get that.
It's a cheese.
Oh.
No, that was his guess.
Oh, yeah. No, it was the Daily Mail hit the rock bottom. I mean, besides doing a second story for that guy, that was really rock bottom. It was nasty. Yeah, we can't even go. That's about as much as we should have went into that one.
Yeah. Rob Morrison says, hello, everyone from San Nicolas, Pangasinan.
Oh, they could have all done this just to get a GoFundMe to get money to continue their ventures here.
Tony Manning says they're all Europeans that were having a Diddy party. Ken, he says, did they get home already? No, only 2 of them did. 2
of 6, but they all split up. That's the word. So we seen the story hours ago. We posted it. We said we'll cover it Saturday. I said, here's George wide awake. He's only had 14 beers, and I figured, hey, why not do it live now?
Right? Pure Blood Stalker says, salute from Scotland.
Hey, what's going on?
Ron
hey.
says, meow. Yeah, when I lifted up, who did I lift up? I lifted up the tabby. I lifted up Calvin.
Yeah.
Len Spencer says the wok wok garo. The wok wok is a mythological bird that comes out at night and preys on humans. It is said that I believe it can use lightning, but it's said that when they look at you, you're paralyzed, and then they just gobbles you up. That's him pinned against your back, and he's holding on to her backside, and that's her face. Yeah, I could feel him. I feel something behind me. That's why I'm not moving. I'm afraid to squish them. They're so stinking cute. We've been through this several times in the last few years with the kittens, and they're so cute, and they're so active for being under 6 weeks old. And here in another month, they'll be on top of the refrigerator, and that's what my concern comes in. Tony says, when I camp, I look at the heaviest guy. He's the first meal. That's true. Calvin talking about the big backs in the United States. I hope he's talking about men and women, because like I said, there's things Calvin says that I agree and disagree with. Everybody's getting huge, even here in the Philippines. And I get there's big women, but there's also big guys in the U.S. But I agree. That's what I would be doing. I'd be checking the big people out too. Matter of fact, I probably bought some barbecue sauce, just figuring I'd have had a bottle of water on one side of my hip and barbecue sauce on the other, and a couple of them skewers before I'd have headed out. Whether it had to be lizards or mealworms, grub worms, I'd have been pulling down that bark getting ready, man. Put some barbecue sauce on there, some Kraft barbecue sauce on them grub worms.
Shaved your.
Imagine that conversation. Tony Manning just looking at somebody and says, "I want to eat you."
Baby, you look good enough to eat.
There you go. Like a Spot says,
Hey, what's
good
going
looking art evening from Orange County.
on? Orange
Here to
County,
catch up
what's
with
going
you guys. All right, like a Spot.
Now I will announce. I'm not sure if George will join me tomorrow, but tomorrow I do have a story that I literally just found, and I don't know how much of it I can really talk about. I guess I can. The story that I just showed you, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Nothing PG. Nothing.
Which one?
Um.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad situation, and it happens. The only thing is, it's not quite expat, but it is one of those stories that it gives you a better idea about the Philippines. That it's a lot like some other countries, and it does happen, and it's sad. But I might just sleep in tomorrow. I don't know. So this is
Oh, yeah, another thing, it's kind of, actually, I know I mentioned this statement earlier. I've been gold panning, and that's why Rob Morrison,
oro
the
or
yes,
oro
yes,
plato
oro plata mata.
oro plata mate. I was close.
Oro plata mata.
Aren't you proud of me?
Gold, silver, and death. But anyway,
Silver
now
and gold.
the reason why I brought this up is because when you go panning, there's usually stories involved. Now, there's always legends or whatever. But what I'm getting at is pay attention to certain stories, because certain stories have, even myths have a partial truth to them. So what I'm saying is, if there's a mythological story of, oh, people who go down and pan in that river, they don't come back. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's pretty good. Do in a dark world. Do your Batman story about what's going on. Ready, George?
World where 6 Europeans go out to a lake
And one Russian.
and get lost. What?
Russians aren't European. There was a Russian in there.
Part of Russia is.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's mostly Asian, but yes,
Gotcha, okay.
part of it. Yeah. But anyway,
and
but
5 and 1
what
Russian.
I'm getting at is those stories came up like that because there's certain people that do end up not coming back, that kind of deal. So what I'm saying is pay attention to stories. I'm not talking about this incident, but I'm talking about in general. So if you're gonna go
Gotta
out
have a
hiking
guide.
and then they tell you, hey, don't hike this trail. There's a creature out there, and it's, let's say they say Bigfoot. Some of them do. It's said that Bigfoot comes over and eats them. Okay, it may not be true, but maybe there's a bear that goes out and knocks off people. If that makes any sense.
Might
What
be
I'm saying
me.
is there's
It would be.
part of the truth there, and that's why people give warnings. Hey,
Well,
don't do this. Hey, don't do that.
I have
You know what
a
I'm saying?
thought. Pre-internet, and when you was just a little tyke trying to bribe the guards over there at I call it McDill, but it's not McDill base. Clark, there you go. Got McDill on the brain. Back in grasshopper days, when the grasshopper was still silky, and when your stick was still silky and hard. Anyway, with me. Before the internet.
Yeah, and the cheeks were still salty. Yes.
Well, you mean sweet? It's probably salty and anyways, let's
No,
move
salty
on.
because that was when I was most active. But anyway, that didn't sound right. But anyway,
I didn't want to know about your cheese. Anyways, keep your cheese to yourself. So, all right. Did people just randomly run off here in the Philippines like these guys? Like, I mean, without a guide in some areas? Because everything's been
yes,
developed over time
yes, of course,
without guides.
yes, because they're less educated.
Well, I figured that it's people seeing people do this that's making people do more stuff. I feel that it's doubled and tripled more than it used to
I
be.
would say it's a healthy balance. It's kind of like, oh, I watch enough YouTube. In fact, actually,
Like
you
me,
did
I can
mention,
rescue.
you
Yeah,
did mention
watch
that.
YouTube. I'm a
Yes.
rescuer.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
watch-
false.
I watch that cartoon.
Yeah, and again, most
I watch that
most
cartoon.
YouTube tricks are fake. Just so you
Listen,
guys know.
I watch Disney's cartoon, The Rescuers. You know them little mouse, that mouse movie. I've seen that 12 times. I could have went out there and rescued the rest of them guys.
I watched DuckTales too.
Well, how's that got to do with you rescuing anybody if you didn't watch The
I
Rescuers?
believe you're talking about the Rescue Rangers.
No, it's actually a movie called The Rescuers.
Oh, the Rescuers? No.
I believe it's an old one.
Yeah.
So, but no, I'm just wondering.
So again, like I said, if locals tell you, "Oh, don't go on that trail," there's probably a reason for it. Again, their backstory may not be real. It could be like some monster, but again, we're not talking. Let's be realistic. It's probably something else, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's exactly what I thought. It was 1977. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And that's the one that had that woman
When?
and the crocodiles. 1977. I was
Okay,
6.
there
I've
you
probably
go.
seen it a
I didn't
dozen
even-
times. The Rescuer.
Yeah.
And that's the rich woman. They were after the diamond and everything, the 2 mice. And she tried to put the little girl down in there to get the diamonds, the rescuers. Yes, I've seen that at least a dozen times. I feel I'm qualified now.
Yeah, Elvis says smashing the like button. Thank you so much, Elvis. Appreciate it. Ronald Holland says, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sarah Tyson says, Heidi, so you seem like it's 3 a.m. for you.
Right?
Heidi, you are killing me.
Yeah, it's like 4 in the afternoon. Yeah, I mean, I got like my...
Tarzan says, my wife rents her 3-bedroom house out in Valencia to a foreigner and
Cold
his
is
Filipino.
rolling deep.
Pennsylvania Expat says, George, you're in the wrong seat.
Right? We switched up so you guys can get a better look at George's haircut and my house clothes. I know you love it. You like it. You want some of it. Hey, what's going on? Twin Lakes expat alien abduction trending on YouTube. I bet it could be.
Williams, Philippines retirement says, rule of thumb, and yes.
Hey, William, what's going on?
Put. Always have a fire starter kit and food. Water filter, correct. Yeah, the water straw, it sounds like a great plan to me, yes. And food, again, we're not asking you, neither me or Williams is telling you to bring, go camping. No.
At least a small...
Bring water.
Bring at least a small canister of MSG and pepper.
To be honest with you, a gallon is actually the gold standard for a hike, but a liter is minimum.
And I'm almost betting we're going to hear a good story after this one. So
and yes, some of you
we'll probably cover it one more
isn't
time.
That heavy? Well, yeah, but worst case scenario, you got exercise out of it.
I'm telling you, I feel like there's something sus as hell going on. Beings are only giving the first names of 2 of them, but it could just be they don't know who they are, which is, I mean.
Misangano says they aren't dead or dehydrated. It's been raining like crazy, so plenty of water to acquire, and the weather there is agreeable. Maybe a little cold at night. Oh yeah, it drops. Yes, but a little shelter and it's doable to do.
Well, they got to gather that water.
It depends on certain people's survival skills. Some people are just completely oblivious. I'm going to be honest with you.
People have drowned in a quarter of an inch of water before, man.
That's a little hard. It's possible, yes.
Yeah, it's possible.
Tarzan says they missed the meetup point. Women.
Jeez.
Ruby, did these people have local guide who knows the terrain? The answer is
nope. We just found that out. Like I said, we were going to cover this tomorrow. I kept skipping over saying that, but we were going to cover this tomorrow. And when it came up, they found
2 bodies.
Yeah. Then they're not showing the other guy. He's like, you ain't taking my photo. Look at me. My hair's a muss.
Now the bodies were alive, of course, but
that's what George wanted to put on. He says he's getting tired of clickbait out there too, and he goes, CNN does it and Fox does it, and he said Entertainment Tonight does it and TMZ. He goes, he was going to slap me. I mean, he had his hand up and he said, "Listen, woman," he said, they found 2 bodies," which he wasn't lying. I said, "Please don't hit me."
You forgot the end part of that statement. Where's the sandwich?
Oh, sorry. Did I not make you a sandwich?
No.
Oh, sorry. You guys got it all backwards. He beats me when you're not around. True story.
I beat you with
with
my
that-
stick.
I was
Literally,
gonna say with the
literally, and
salty stick. He beats me with the salty, silky Filipino stick. Sorry.
and the thing is, I do warn her. I tell her
Mamma
I
mia.
bite, you know.
Mamma mia.
And I did tell her I was
Mamma
gonna beat her
mia,
with my
let me
stick,
go.
and
Let
she
me
thought I was joking. But anyway,
go. He uses a salty stick. He puts
right.
in my ear. Let me go. Let me go. Please get it out of my ear. Sudden bolts of lightning.
I was
Everything
I
is
was just trying to feed you
spinning.
some cheese,
Oh,
some schmegma action there. But anyway,
I'm gonna have to have some junk food after this. I've been totally sane for about 2 months, and I'm telling you, you're gonna make me go off the deep end.
cheese is junk food. Williams Philippine Retirement says years ago, I've done 1 and 2 week backcountry survival treks. The ones who get lost are the ones who keep going in the wrong direction.
And they split up. Hell no. You know what I'm gonna do if George tried that shit? I'm gonna sit down. Remember we talked about Elliot Eastman being kidnapped? George said, "Don't worry, you're big. They ain't taking you nowhere." They'd have listen. I might be big, but they'd have found half of George out in that jungle. You'd have found all of Heidi because I'd have been sitting there waiting for their asses. Hell no. I'd have been so defiant. I'd have been behind 8 years in immigration at that point. I'd have just been sitting there waiting.
Thank you for
Using snail
bringing
mail.
that up. Thank you for bringing that up. The reason why I'm saying this is because another rule of survival, again, I keep repeating this, is like we said, stay together, stay where you are, don't move. And another ones that whenever there's a party, not the Donner Party, whenever there's a party that's like lost and
Don't
they stay
forget the
put,
MSG and pepper.
what you guys should never ever do is send somebody out to look for help. Because 9 out of 10, the people who stayed get found, and the guy who goes out looking for help doesn't make it.
George, can you go upstairs and look for help? Hey,
I'm gonna miss you guys. I'm gonna miss you.
Be real careful when you go up those stairs.
You went those
Be
stairs.
careful. I don't want to go on a hike. Be sitting out there by the what's the mountain out here over here? I'll be sitting over there right, like that big white woman Heidi. We haven't seen her around the house feeding the dogs in about 2 weeks. Wonder where she went. Waiting for somebody to find George. Is it not stinking up the house yet? There's I've been lost. I've been out hiking, and it's my thing. I do it on a weekly basis. Ma'am, didn't you say you had lupus and in a wheelchair last year? Oh, hell no, man. I'm as fit as a fiddle.
Yeah, so never send somebody out
Oh,
to
man.
look for help. They usually don't make it back.
Well, it looks like somebody made it back.
Yeah. Sangano says that part of Bukidnon is expansive and you can absolutely get lost and dehydrated. They had a Russian with them, so for sure a lighter to make a fire. Right. Lights like a chimney. Right. No. Again. Oh,
I bet them Brits had a lighter too.
guys, flints are not the same as those never-ending matches. I have one of those. Don't waste your money on those.
Yeah, I suggest you get some.
Yeah.
And we still got our to-go bag. I mean, I know it's a time not to mention and to mention it, but with emergencies and things like this coming up, it still makes you rethink to make sure you have a to-go bag at any time.
Now, actually, that's an interesting statement. The reason being is because now the full details aren't out yet, but the reason why I say that is because reading between the lines, that's what I gathered too, because they were near the city or town, as it were. Williams Philippine Retirement says they probably got into a testosterone argument, and the ones that stayed put got found. And the reason why I kind of agree with that is because one,
If they all would have done it, then
well, what I'm saying is the reason why I kind of agree with it is because they didn't say that, but reading between the lines, that's what I thought too.
yeah, but isn't there like wasn't this a hiking trail? How'd they get off the trail?
That's my point. These are super, super amateur hikers. That's my point. It's like, really? Really?
Let's just put it in a nutshell. They're men. They probably just have one thing on their mind. One thing on their mind.
Could have been like the Donner Party thing. Like, I know a shortcut. No, really, I'm not joking.
They had beer in Georgia on the mind.
Because when you go hiking, there's usually are shortcuts.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I
anyway.
mean, but remember, guys, I am well aware and been through a lot of stuff myself. And until you've actually been there, it does change things. It really does. And I get it, like we talked about Elliot Eastman. And at the end of the day, these hikers missing. But it's like you think you have it all together on different parts of your life or things like that. And it does. Oh my God, babe, check it out. Oh, you can't see
Well,
it.
I can't see him.
Yeah.
Jean Paul says it's possible to get hypothermia in 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit
possible,
weather,
yeah.
especially if one is wet.
Yeah.
Tarzan says they walked into a time portal. There you go. Yes, earned doggy full. Correct. They probably might have been eaten by the chupacabra.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, Negro rat back there. Yeah. Okay. So he joined, right? And he's got him literally in a headlock. His head isn't even visible.
Yeah, I see him.
But he's sleeping on top of him. So the black cat, the one we're definitely keeping, Salem, he's got the other kitten in a headlock. You can't even see him anymore, and they're all sleeping.
Yeah, Williams Philippines retirement says an actual survival kit is extremely small and light. Oh, now that he mentioned it, okay. If they had a survival kit, that solved a lot of issues. For example, the
Balls
standard
deep in the woods, huh?
yeah, the standard survival kit comes with a blanket that those aluminum foil blanket, and they don't weigh nothing.
Yeah, but I bet they didn't bring anything.
But what I'm saying is,
the guy had a fanny pack on. That was a fanny pack.
That aluminum foil blanket could be their raincoat.
He had
It
his
could be
cigarettes and
their-
a lighter in
It
that
could be
fanny pack.
anything.
What do you guys think he had in the fanny pack? That's what it looks like on the front of him to me. And let me put a couple pesos in here.
Right.
And my cigarettes. They probably carried one small bottle of water in there, which that might have been what I would have done.
Ronald Holland says British expats going to ruin everyone's chance of getting any GoFundMe. You won't,
right?
You won't know what to believe now. It's a shame.
The crazy part is he's doubling down, and that's fine. The funds have already slowed down in the last week, but he's asking for more. Oh, and he admitted on there on the 8th, just after the live stream, he admitted that he paid his rent till May, but that's okay. He says he'll be spending his money to live until he takes care of the other issues, and yeah, good for him. But I just think it's insane. So we will trust the Philippine government to do the right thing.
Bruce David says, "Yeah, way to filter water too. Water you need too."
Yeah, probably talking about the straw.
Yeah, the straw. Yeah. Williams Philippines Return says, "Yeah, you can filter water through sand if you know how to layer it in a water bottle." Well,
I know another way. Did they have a razor or a knife with them?
That's another thing. You should always carry a knife with you. The only reason why I'm not carrying a knife with me right now is because of the elections.
Well, you can take these down here, and you cut them into small pieces and use those hairs as a filter.
Oh my gosh!
Inside you put sand, those hairs, and chop them up finely, and you take a couple layers of grub worm, and then the sand, grub worm, hair down there, or just coarse hair, and then you run the water through it. The grub worms have bleach in it.
Oh yeah. Yes. Natural chlorine. Yes.
Or you can find alien fingers that also has bleach.
That area they're in, I don't know that particular mountain they're in, but just from my observations, usually in that area, clay is very common in the mountains over there.
What are you gonna do with clay?
Oh, because he said you can filter water through sand. Sand is not as common over where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I guess it would be a piece
Oh,
of cloth
what
or
I'm saying is
something.
it's usually clay that's over there. But again, I haven't been there, so. Sarah Tyson says she makes a good point. Before they split up, did they hear banjos? Correct.
Yeah.
More, you got pretty much.
It's like, guys, this is our last night. Let's get it. Let's get it on. Well, we know who survived that one.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Oh, Brokeback Mountain. You know, I just recently seen that. I mean, it's like since I've been in
Which one
Asia.
broke
Yeah,
Mountain?
yeah.
That's a great movie, by the way. It's probably one of the best movies ever.
Well, ain't no denying it.
Actually, in all fairness, it actually is a good movie.
Yeah, it is. That's a good movie.
No, it really is. Now Milk.
What the fuck is Milk?
Whoa. You don't know what you know? Oh, okay. So anyway,
I mean, you like Notebook too, so be sure to add on all the other stories.
that has nothing to do with it.
And you like the
I'm just a
color
movie
purple.
guy. I watch every movie. It doesn't
color
matter
purple.
what it is, but Milk is during
This is a
like
weird seat.
it's also James Franco too. He played a
Gotta lean forward a bit.
homosexual in that, fighting for gay rights. But anyway, it's a good movie. But the storytelling, I think, is a little off. I like Brokeback Mountain. The story is compelling. Milk is kind of like lacking. But anyway, my opinion. Anyway,
Yes, I know what I'm watching tonight.
yeah.
George is feeling compelling, and I'm going to order me a pizza and make more funeral plans. And
Well, I mean, Brokeback Mountain. You wouldn't have heard of Brokeback Mountain if it didn't win awards. I'm just saying.
no, I don't care about that. It just happens to come
I
across
know
Netflix.
that, but he won
and,
awards for a reason. That's what I was getting at. Tarzan says iPhone have offline maps that can show your live location. Well, actually, most phones have offline maps.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, that'd have been.
Bruce Davis says, yeah, that's right, William. Good to know too. He's talking about the survival kits. Saratan says if they did, he's fired. No refund too, says Ruby. Williams Philippine retirement says in the Philippines I always took someone familiar with the terrain, never to no. That's not just on hiking anywhere. If you're gonna go to an area, for example, like Manila, for instance, I refuse to drive there. I even tell Heidi I will not drive in Manila.
I refuse to take any risk. I'm going to get me a Snicker bars,
Yeah.
a pizza, and I'm going to watch me some Netflix and give George some good loving. Would that say?
A lot of Filipinos
I'm gonna be real
I
safe.
know that if they're
I'm gonna play
not
it safe.
familiar with an area, they do not go there unless they have somebody who's familiar with the
Okay,
area.
we'll have to do a live stream. Play it safe. Are you going to play it safe?
Right. Because even
Right.
Google is not going to help you because it's not going to show you the right roads because usually Google is kind of out of date when it comes to roads, especially because those things always change. Which is also funny. Funny story. People were submitting. Get this.
Look at this victim back here. She just flipped herself around, the kitten. Look, can you see her?
Yeah.
You can't see her. She flipped herself around and then she threw herself down in the hole back there.
People were submitting photos,
Backside of the couch.
screenshots of Google Maps because they thought that those ones that they saw on Google Maps were them.
It happens. That's why I was hoping to find a little bit more information, misinformation, or something to talk about. Because
Yeah.
I'm getting tired of talking about salty cheese, pizza, Snickers, and playing it safe.
I mean, I used to look at Google Maps, like not every day, but I would say probably on average once in 3 months.
How about that guy they
And to
found
see
that
if
had the
when-
body or something, and they had to block that out or something? Did you see that
Yeah, it
one?
takes years before they
Discover
update the
some-
maps and pictures. Yes.
Interesting.
Tarzan says I watched MacGyver. There you go.
Hey, then we could have got something
So
done.
that being said, always bring bubble gum.
Does the A team count in meeting Mr. T at some point?
Well, you don't have
I
the
was
A
part
team
of.
in your pocket. MacGyver always
I
had
got
bubble
to
gum.
hug part of the A team at
There
some
you go.
point.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pity the fool. Tom Moscal says Twin Lakes
I asked him
expat
for
alien
chain. He wasn't giving
abduction
me no chain.
trending on YouTube. There you go.
I think if he'd have heard one more,
True
I
story.
pity the fool situation, he might have slapped me for me to ask him to say that. But I did ask him for one of his chains. He said, "Nice try." He goes. A lot of people don't ask. Damn, this chain. That'd been nice.
Yeah, Rosita says you should never go out by yourself to any terrain. Yes. Yeah.
You just got to play it safe. The way you would pretty much act in the United States, you pretty much should act here. And some people forget that when they get off the airplanes. I'm sorry.
Well, see, that's
Kind of like
another
your
thing.
skeet boy, your
They're
big
not.
burr guy.
They're not
I mean,
in their home turf, which makes it worse.
I mean, why? That's why I always ask, why these people get here and not only they act a fool or do things they wouldn't be doing in their home areas. But some people say that some people do act that way back in their countries, but I kind of disagree. It seems like they become like unhinged and uninhibited at the same time.
No, they think they're God once they get here. Yes.
Yeah, I just think it just becomes where, and I get the fountain of youth, and then they get around these girls, and they get a little extra loving and little cheap alcohol, and they get to go all these places, and a lot of them had already quit work, and they just unhinge, man. It's like all I want to do is take a nap. Gee.
Well, Ruby says my husband wanted to hike Mount Riot with a local guide, but my friend who lives in the area recommended not to because he'll be a target, so he didn't do it anymore. Now, there is truth to that story. I hate to agree with it. That's why I said I'd hate to, because again, what the chance of it happening is actually smaller than people realize, but a chance is still a chance, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't take the chance.
Yeah.
So Mount Riot has NPA, New People's Army. And again, they're just normal people like you and me, and
They got a new
know.
army? What'd they call it before? Why they call it new army? No, I'm serious.
New People's Army?
Yeah, why do they call it new? Not sure. That's just how they differentiated from just being the army.
Well, whenever they say People's Army, they're talking about China.
Oh, okay.
Communist China. And then I guess they added new to distinguish themselves from the People's Army to New People's Army. That might be a guess again. But anyway, that's NPA territory. But for the most part, they stay quiet. But like I said, a chance is better than. I mean, it's still what's that saying? No chance is better than some chance. Oh, better not to risk it. Yes, I agree.
Jiminy crickets.
John Paul says, I don't recall any cell phone reception in Twin Lakes area. Right. No, that's what I mean. So that's what I'm saying. They probably had some before it arrived there. They were probably at the foot, or I don't know. I don't know where they were, but it's possible. Tarzan says, I almost got all the 411 missing books. Oh. Tarzan, missing 411. Oh, so you know all the stories that I know then. Okay. Yeah, again, every Tarzan will know. Now, the 411 missing books, what are they? 411 missing books are basically a compilation of books of people who have gone missing. And this is not fiction. This is real. And
It
again,
could be because they're sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. And this is why I keep telling you guys, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, because this is literally from those books. For example, when I said a lot of people who get ex-nayed from missing and starving, they're literally like half kilometer away from the hiking trail. And it's like, it's so sad. And then some of them sit and then they send out this guy, the guy who knows who's the most fit, go and find help. And he goes, and that guy gets ex-nayed, and then the rest of the group gets found. Yeah, no, that's so Tarzan's probably heard all these stories. But remember, they're not stories. These are real. These are real life events. Yeah, Missing 411. It's a series of books. You could probably find them online. I'm not trying to sell the books. I'm just letting you know what he's talking about. We in the Philippines, yeah, Bruce, yeah, that's just dumb, even if you know the terrain. Correct.
Oh,
What?
there you go. I just seen that came up. Discerning Dash. Thank you
Oh, hey,
so
Discerning
much.
Dash.
What's going on?
Things happening to these expats makes Philippines seem unsafe. Not good for tourism. Things like this happen everywhere because it's expats, it's news more. Right. And the problem is
Which is, let me get to two other stories and we'll probably touch on them. But I will just add in that they just announced today they found the 4 people that unalived that Israeli guy and a Filipina that was in this area over here in Pampanga, that they were lured out to real estate to buy it, and they just caught 4 guys that did unalive the couple over money. They brought a deposit, and I'm like, we told you guys about meeting up with people off of Facebook, and there's so many of them. And it's weird. Like, I've seen several places for sale and for rent, because I told George that maybe next year we consider like getting a farm or moving out or doing something. And when I was looking, some of them have nothing on their page. It's like empty. And the rental, you got to check into this stuff. Some of the stuff is sketchy at best. And so they did find the 4 people. And then recently we have that girl that is a Western expat female that was found sprawled out naked. I thought they had found her in a church or something. I don't have the full details, but an unalived female expat in Boracay, and they have found 2 other Filipinos in the same position, which means that they had had their way with these ladies. And so there's so many different things going on. And let's not forget the ATM with the husband, the gay couple that was out of town, came back, and he has the pig farm here. We discussed that, about a month ago? And that's still ongoing. And that story went hush really, really quick. And that whole story was crazy. So I think it's just, I think things happen in all countries like America. And like this is probably happening times 10 in New York. And, everything that's happening here does happen in other countries. I've never felt unsafe. You just have to take your safety precautions when you get here. To me, being able to live inexpensively and be among people that are in a happier mood all the time and seems to be Party City in the 80s and a state fair freak show all in one. And when I say that, I mean that in the best way. I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, you get the parades where once a year the men dress up as women. You get all the different parades and fashion shows, and there's so much going on here in the Philippines, but I'd much rather deal with that than, and I just don't think the danger is as bad. I know there are things going on, but I mean, things happen everywhere.
Well, yeah.
And
yeah,
so
of course.
at least there's a lot of good and bad in all countries. But you just have to be careful. But a lot has come up here lately, and that's why I wasn't going to mention that couple, because that literally just came up in the news just shortly before we went on air, and then of course the one that just happened over there in Mindanao. But yeah, are you?
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
When you,
Oh yeah. So yeah, because
Tarzan says foreplay / beating.
right.
Ruby says what? George will spank you. OMG. Aaron Doggy Full says Fumunda.
What's
Tarzan.
fun?
Tarzan says smoke signals.
Right. Yeah.
Williams Philippine Return says
Oh,
splitting up
gee,
was
that
the
reminds
dumbest
me.
thing. Even if they're arguing, staying put is the best choice. Correct.
Let me tell you, speaking of smoke signals, I seen this show um where this guy had offed his own family. He unalived his family, right? And the psychiatrist was discussing this story, and I'd just seen it on YouTube. And the guy went out and he built a bunker out in the woods in the Cascade Mountains or something deep where nobody was supposed to find him, right? And he recorded, he was the psychological problems with him, the profile would have said he would have never done the things that he was doing. But anyways, that's not the deal. So anyways, he ex-nate his family, went out to the woods, and he lived underground thinking they weren't going to find him, and he just was going to stow away and just live off the land and stuff, and figured he was home free until they seen the smoke signals. The guy didn't even calculate that they would see where the fire came up from the ground. He had a little pipe running up that was undetected until there was a fire. They kept seeing the smoke coming out. So the guy had everything really planned out, was gone for a while, and what caught him was the simplest act.
Actually, that's a very common way to catch people. Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But they said that he was like a hermit and withdrawn from the world, and even his recording, because he did some recordings later, and they're like, that was really unusual for his type of person that he was. But if he was married and had kids, he must not have been too private of a person. But in the end, got caught by the smoke signal.
Yeah.
So that just, I just seen that yesterday. So when you said
There was
that, I
a
was
guy who did the same. Well, he was an escape prisoner, and they couldn't find him. How they found him, he was living on a cliff cave, which means there's no way they would have found him. But that's how they caught him.
yeah.
Smoke. Yes.
I mean,
You can't even I can't even imagine how he got into that cave. To be honest with you, but obviously he knows how to hike. But
yeah, isn't that crazy to go through all that and be that well
Yeah.
planned out and think you got away with everything? And it's like, yeah, it looks like I'd have been eating cold tuna fish.
right.
You better bring some warm. I mean, you would think they would think about stuff like that. They better figure a way to live without fire. I mean, that's what gave them away.
No, what it is, it's no, you bring down your guard after a few weeks, or
I just think what I have found in my life, I've seen the most intelligent people, and it just takes little things to slip up. Honestly, that British expat guy, he seems to have some intelligence. We see that he's an online teacher. Even his ex girlfriend said he had the smarts, but some of the stuff that came out of his mouth was absolutely stupid. And some of the things he's done and said so far just totally gave him away. And in the end, he's going to be taken out of here, and it's going to affect him majorly. Like, he's going to be back in the UK, probably living on the streets, and it could have went a lot smoother. He still could have had some money left.
right.
But at this point, he's spending the money now. By the time it comes, he's not going to have a dime to do anything when he gets there. He has 3,000 British pounds now. You got enough for a ticket. You can get your passport papers and get out of here now. No, he's paying to live here now, and he's not trying to get up out of here. And he's saying it'll take 3 or 4 months to get out of here. Turn your ass into immigration. I bet you out of here. At least you're going to have some money on the street. But my point is that there are people that have some street smarts and some book smarts, and some things elude people. Like you could be the special black ops, or what do they call those in the military, where they're the best of the best, the SEALs and all
Navy
that.
SEALs, yeah.
Yeah, but some things just elude guys like that are the best of the best. But the simplest things, like, can you show me how to fry an egg? That type of situation. It's like, are you serious? All that other stuff. You guys got my point, or you got my point on that one.
No, I get
Some
the point.
things elude people where they not everybody has all the home smarts, street smarts, book smarts. I mean, that would show me that the guy was highly intelligent. Everything in his life, he flipped a switch, offed his family, and thought he had everything to hide out, and made very heavy duty plans. And then smoke got him, because I mean, even Ray Charles, blind and all, would have seen that stuff coming.
Yeah. Anti 403, go check that way. He's talking about the ones that get sent out.
Oh yeah.
Ruth says, yeah, always stay together. Make sure you have fire starter, water, and wood. There you go. Jean Paul
Gotta have wood.
says you have to pay the entrance fee to enter Twin Lakes. They should have known they entered and did not exit with closing time.
That makes sense. They didn't even notice, and they were almost gone for, they said, almost 2 days before they noticed it. So yeah, that's
well, they don't really.
keep a list. I think they just take the fees and no
Well, they
IDs and
probably do, but they don't check probably.
yeah.
Yeah. Kind of like a registry. You know, they sign in, but they don't sign out. I mean, literally, they don't sign out.
Like a roach motel.
Yeah.
Check
Correct.
in,
Yeah.
they don't check out.
Tarzan, whistle works if the mouth is too dry, holler, or use a signal mirror. Booyaka stuff says, mind-boggling how many people go missing in national parks every year. Awesome. Yes. Yes. Yes, you read this earlier. Tarzan balls deep in the wood. Omarigan says the forest is so thick that any novice hiker can easily get lost. Bisayan Kano says, what looks like trails aren't. Nothing is really a beaten path per se. Williams Retirement says, best fire kit, ferro rod, cotton balls. Right, the ferro rod, correct. Petroleum jelly, any knife, not a butter knife. Bisangano says it's Sigbin or Balbal, no Chupacabra in the Philippines. There you go. Omarigan says the forests in the Philippines are so thick, any newbie hiker, even experienced ones, can get easily lost. I once got lost in a small woody area a long time ago. There you go. Yeah, they call it the space blanket. That's right. That little aluminum foil blanket, right? That's so many purposes. Gather water. Oh no. Now what?
You could have put that in your pocket first.
Right. Yeah, so for example, like how can you collect water? So all you do is you secure four corners of it where there's a little bit of tension, and then you put like a little tiny pebble in the middle, so it dips on the middle. And if you leave that overnight, the dew will collect and it'll just pool into the middle. That's if it's not raining anyway. But anyway, and if you're in the desert, all you do is grab some plants, you put it.
That's
Yeah,
why I love
there's
it.
a lot of things you can do with a space blanket. Mind-bogglingly a lot, but I'm not gonna go.
Can you
through
make
it.
a good grilled cheese?
Actually, yes.
Awesome.
Anyway, no. That there's 1,001 uses for a space. Not literally, but you guys get the picture. Anyway, Kenny
Can
D.
you tell me the purpose of white pepper? Do you know the true color of cayenne pepper?
No,
Do you know how many different types of peppers there are?
no.
Yeah, exactly. See?
I never claim to know everything. I never did ever.
Oh, I'm just messing with you.
If I don't know, I'll say I don't know. But anyway, Kenny D. in the Philippines. Valencia is where all the old used up shower curtains used to retire and die.
Oh man.
Finally says Mylar. There you go.
Mylar.
Williams Philippine Retirement says we were required to carry survival gear in the Arctic Circle. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I think I did hear about that. Yes.
I was in a powwow circle once.
There you go.
Speaking of Arctic Circle.
Sankano says Conan should have been with that hiking group.
That's what I said earlier, man.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. If Conan was with that group, I guarantee you he would have been the only one found, and the rest would still be missing.
And he would have done another
'Cause-
GoFundMe
'cause he would-
page.
yeah, and he would.
He had to get out to do that.
He would have
He's
said,
so stubborn. You can tell his type of personality. Crazy survives. I'm going to tell you at the end of the day. I'm going to tell you that right now. We all know that. And there's something broken. I rewatched that. We did some shorts. Me and George was discussing them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go look at his stuff. And then I'm like, I got this email and they're like, man, he raised the amount of money and he actually went on the Min talking about he's going to answer every single thing in the live. And I'm like, yeah, he's going to lie and make something up in between. Every time we've done something, he's doubled down and answered what makes him look better. He said, so the people can make an informed judgment that I'm not a scammer. You're a scammer, dude. He's an outright scammer, man. It's crazy. The guy. Oh, and then we caught him on the part about the he said that I'm on I said, you don't have enough money to survive. You had like $11,000 for 7 years. You can't live on that forever. He goes, well, I wasn't going to be here forever. 7 years is long enough. He didn't have enough money to even begin to survive. He goes, I'm only on a tourist visa. I said, yeah, which becomes another problem. You aren't supposed to live forever on a tourist visa. We know people do it and they renew, go out of the country and come back, but he didn't even do that. He let his passport go. The guy's just a waste of space. This is the one expat that has just stirred me up. The fact that he's used everything as an excuse of leaving and then tried to tear everybody down. Then he admitted he lied about the family out there that, no, I'm not being held captive. Well, then how do you answer that? You frauded the articles to actually get a GoFundMe. All the things that happened to that man was old. But anyways.
Yeah, no. Sankano says you can get away with using large leaves to catch rainwater. It's okay.
I can't quit you, George.
I can't quit you, George.
I know. We're both like a train wreck, or
I can't quit you, Bruce. Tarzan says, lovey-doving George off the jungle. There you go. Hey, Richard Broad, how you doing? Richard Broad, good afternoon to everyone here. I just saw the news of those 2 guys were found. Hope the rest of them turn up okay. I hope
Me
so.
too, because I like to do another live stream based on it. I'm waiting for their next t-shirt. Hey, we can make a t-shirt. We'll take that. We took down those t-shirts a while back, and it's like, maybe we had to create one t-shirt. Maybe we can do the Conan White t-shirt. The biggest cracker in the Philippines.
Richard Broad says, why do these guys go out in the wood and forest hiking on their own? Not so smart.
No.
I think the Philippines is pretty safe, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Sankano says the village next to Calatrava Negros near Valencia just had a fairly big NPA versus Gobierno fight 2 days ago. So that place is just as hot as others in terms of pew-pew violence. There you go.
Hey, if there's a large amount of chicharron being sold this week and it's looking a little extra white and German, don't buy it. And Canadian, don't buy it. If it's listed from Canada, don't buy it. Babe, that was funny. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, he's studying, guys. Don't buy it if it says made in Canada. Don't buy it.
Williams Philippine Retirement says the signal mirror doesn't do squat in a jungle.
Pretty much.
I keep coming
It's
back.
good to see you back, William. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. Just wanted to say, hey, I don't know, may or may not do a live tomorrow. Depends if I'm getting out of bed. So, pretty much this was to make up for tomorrow, possibly, and if not, back on Tuesday. It's been a busy week, but I do have a story that I think I want to cover. Like I said, it's not so much expat based, and we try to make it expat based so it gives something we can just wrap up the week. And
Wendy Williams?
No.
Oh, man.
And not your new Kanye West and Diddy song.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know you was happy to see, I'm surprised they didn't do We Are Family.
Yeah, and for those of you wondering, my statement earlier that I forgot my German words is because I'm a gamer. Playing against British and German people are very common, so I used to play with them a lot when I was in the U.S. But here, it's either Americans or Filipinos or Japanese is who I fight against.
What's her name speak German? I mean, I won't say her name.
Oh, well, no.
Okay.
No,
it's kind of like me. I only know some myself.
I knew the simple German words because you're in the game. You talk to people like.
Gotcha.
You coordinate.
Yeah. So hey, Pinetti. So yeah, a lot of you guys will be rewatching this, and if you do, be sure to subscribe if you're not, and watch the entire video. It helps the channel and the 15,000 cats we have in the house, and George's funeral. And I might be able to get me a pizza.
Hopefully I'll see you guys again. Heidi's gonna send me out to forage for food upstairs. Oddly enough,
bring back some onions. And some water and some catnip for the cats.
So we'll see you guys then. Love you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, guys.